Hello and a warm welcome to this week's video update. My name's Scott and it has been a very eventful week in the markets. We have seen some record-breaking gains. So without further ado, I'm going to talk you through these. I'm going to explain what's happened and what we can look ahead for in the horizon in terms of where prices are going and try and gauge that best we can. So let's look at the figures. So I've been doing these weekly updates for the 17th time now, I believe, edition number 17. We've not seen weekly gains as high as this, nowhere near. So across the curve, we have seen prices go up anywhere between 25 to 29%. Just as we saw last week, we're seeing further dated contracts see the most gain. One thing you'll notice on the graph, it has been updated to show a more longer viewpoint now. Just where prices had risen so much, it didn't have quite the context I wanted to give as to where prices were, say, a year and a half ago. So you can see prices starting from around Jan 21 all the way up to present day. You can see in the last few weeks, really since start of July or perhaps even mid-June, you've seen a relentless charge up in prices, and just yesterday alone it gained another 10.8% on a 12-month contract. So huge gains yesterday. Power very much the same, the gains are slightly less, but the bullish momentum is definitely stronger in the power curve graph right now. Just like the gas, since mid-June we've seen prices pretty relentlessly charge upwards. We are now well above £600 a megawatt hour for a typical 12-month contract now. Again, yesterday it made a whopping 9.4% gain in a single day. So what's happened? What happened last week and what happened on Monday? Well, the biggest news was Nord Stream 1 announced they were going to shut the pipeline for 3 days for maintenance. So this is an unplanned outage, which causes disruption on its own. They announced this late on Friday, so prices did rise on Friday on the back of it, but it was so late that the market had pretty much almost closed when the announcement was made. So most of the gains we saw happened on Monday opening. Now it's planned to be down for just 3 days, although there is some telling kind of wording in Gazprom's statement is that it will resume if they don't find any issues. So it's all dependent if there are any issues found. There's no guarantee that pipeline will come back, or at least come back to 20% capacity. It could be reduced, could be delayed further. So we really don't know right now. The market's obviously banking on there being some further delays and further disruption with the price rises. So that was a big announcement, somewhat unexpected, I guess you could say, that has caused prices to surge. Some good news is Centrica are making really good progress on rough storage. So essentially everything's now approved. The safety inspection has been approved. They've basically got the green light to start injecting into the storage site in the North Sea. And now it's just a case of actually securing the gas and transporting it there and the logistics behind that. So there's some references that could start in the next couple of weeks. I think by the latest October, we'll see that start to refill, and that should prep us somewhat for this coming winter. And then lastly, it's been kind of an ongoing topic rather than a one-off, but the ongoing maintenance in the UK and Norwegian infrastructure. So there's been many planned and unplanned outages over the last few weeks, and that is going to be continuing well into September. It's one thing we mentioned in our Market Watch committee is we looked at the schedule, we looked at September, which looked particularly busy. So that's something to keep an eye on, but it has been impacting prices last week. There were certain days where, virtually every day, the market opened undersupplied in terms of gas. So that's probably going to be a recurring theme for at least the next month and has been bullish on prices. So some key events coming up in the next week or so. So the big one is, will Nord Stream come back online at 20% capacity? That is the biggest question. Or will there be further delays? So I believe it's down for maintenance from the 30th of August, or perhaps the 31st to the 2nd of September. So those dates. So yeah, around the 2nd of September is a key day there to see what Gazprom announced and if the flows resume. And no doubt the market will be poised and ready to move either way on that news. Next is, will the EU hit 80% gas storage in September? So this is some really positive news. The EU gas storage is replenishing quite nicely. It's sitting above 75% right now. and it's on pace to hit that 80% target about 2 months early ahead of its kind of deadline of the 1st of November. So that's really positive. It hasn't exactly brought down prices in any way, in all honesty, but that storage will be needed over the winter, that's for sure. And if we can get anything beyond 80%, that would be more positive really, and could start to weigh down prices. And then finally, will liquidity return to the market? So this is something perhaps you don't see necessarily your ends, but from a trading perspective, liquidity has been really thin on the markets over the last few weeks. Essentially, there's a lot of buyers wanting to buy and not many people wanting to sell positions. So we need that liquidity return, and that could return naturally just where summer holidays end. Traders are normal people like you and I. They take summer holidays, and if they're going to take annual leave, it's probably going to be around this time of year. That hasn't been the only reason why, but that will have some impact, I think, is start of September, normality returning to the working week. But we do need some bearish news as well. Some bearish news will prompt people to sell their positions and offer up bids. So yeah, we desperately need some bearish news in the markets right now. So that's a quick update for this week. Very eventful week in the markets. As always, these video updates are uploaded every week, so stay tuned for next week to see the next update. If you do need some more information between then, we have our Market Watch live team. They're available to chat to between 10 and 12. And we also have our content on the website as well, so please feel free to check that out. So thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next week.